Good morning. Welcome to Headlines in Bed. Today is Monday, February 15th, 2021. It is a holiday here in the United States. Ironically, we're celebrating President's Day today. Let's get started with the Washington Post. Some state, local governments are desperate for more stimulus. Last year, more than 1 in 20 state government jobs vanished. 1 in 20 state government jobs vanished, and tax revenue fell in 26 states. A Washington Post analysis of government data shows the toll was felt in both Republican-led and Democratic-led states. Biden is winning GOP support for his $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief plan, just not in Washington. GOP mayors and governors say the spending is urgently needed to help struggling cities and states. Trump's acquittal widens GOP divide. Republicans continue to diverge on what the future of their party should be, with a chasm widening between those who want nothing to do with the former president and those who openly embrace him. For anyone who missed it, over the weekend, Trump was acquitted during his historic second impeachment trial in the Senate. In Philadelphia, a mass vaccination clinic opened with fanfare, then closed amid rifts of trust. The evolving crisis reflects the challenges facing cities and states as they seek to expedite distribution of coronavirus shots. I wonder what was the rifts of trust. UK vaccine rollout going smoothly, hitting target, government says. Seoul offered free coronavirus tests for pets and soon found its first case in a lethargic, vomiting cat. Eroding trust, spreading fear, how the pandemic contributed to a rise in extremism. Second headline with trust. 4 reasons experts say the rate of new U.S. corona cases is dropping. Some point to the quickening pace of COVID-19 vaccine administration, while others chalk it up to social distancing measures. Ambassador sweepstakes underway as the well-heeled and well-connected jockey for plum posts. The competition is under more scrutiny than usual, as President Biden stresses a desire to repair international relationships that fray under then President Trump. On the opinion column, the beginning of the end of Trumpism. Now begins McConnell's project to shrink Trump's GOP influence. Since we are on the opinion column, let me just share my opinion that I think McConnell may very well go down as the single most influential politician of our time. The speech he gave following his casting for acquittal of former President Trump during his historic second impeachment on Saturday was perhaps the most memorable of all arguments during that impeachment trial. And yet he voted to acquit. They survived the Holocaust. Now they've come together to endure the pandemic. Tipped workers have been hit hard by the pandemic. Congress could make things even worse. A conversation with Jamie Raskin, the lead manager for the prosecution in the historic trial for former President Trump. Harry Truman was our last president to serve the populist label. 38.7 million vaccinated, the number of people who have received at least one dose of vaccine covering 31.7 of the prioritized population and 11 of the total population. Scrap the romantic ballads. Use this eclectic playlist for your first Valentine's Day stuck at home. Well, a little late, my friend, a little late. Stop dismissing love stories. They're exactly what we need to survive COVID-19. Here. Road to the recovery. The pandemic hit undocumented restaurant workers hard. These bartenders swoop in to feed them. That's an interesting story. Smaller cakes, shorter dresses, bigger diamonds. The pandemic is shaking out the 73 billion wedding industry. This is recycled um, from last week. Power cuts across Texas as snow, ice blanket southern plains. The Texas Council, that manages the majority of the state's electricity, initiated rotating power outages Monday morning during a winter storm. The agency, founded because of 1911, is shifting to face the threat of domestic terrorism. Rising extremism at home has forced a reassessment of priorities at the Department of Homeland Security. Well done. Mardi Gras is canceled, so residents are making their homes into floats. New Orleans doesn't know how to do anything halfway. Wall Street regulators signal tougher approach to industry after GameStop. Federal prosecutors and regulators are probing potential misconduct in the GameStop mania. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are expecting their second baby. The couple already have a son, Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor, born in May 2019. Harry is sixth in line to the British throne. Archie is seventh, and their baby will be eighth. Nice math. And with that, we thank the Washington Post. Thank you. Let's go over to the New York Times. The New York Times, excuse me, has an interesting carousel of photos in the middle, alluding to Valentine's, to Mardi Gras, to Lunar New Year. Vaccine supplies fall short as U.S. states increase access. States have opened mass inoculation sites and expanded eligibility, but they don't have enough doses of the coronavirus vaccine. Britain has begun quarantining some international travelers in government-sanctioned hotels. Here's the latest pandemic news. Is it possible to build an early warning system for viruses? The pilot project envisions an immersed surveillance system that can check blood from all over the world for antibodies to hundreds of viruses. With Mardi Gras parades canceled, floats find a new home. Marching bands won't march, bars are closed, and parades won't fill New Orleans street, but these artists found a way to keep the party going. As impeachment trial ends, Biden takes center stage with stimulus bill. Center stage of what? Of news, which is a production? Come on. At least you're being truthful and revealing how you see yourself as a center stage. President Biden will now push to pass a 1.9 trillion relief plan and then move on to immigration, infrastructure, and other issues. So he wasn't pushing because of the impeachment, or you were not covering because of the impeachment? Please don't be so full of yourself. After the speech, what Trump did while the Capitol was attacked. New evidence emerged in the impeachment trial about what the former President Trump did from roughly 1 to 6 p.m. the day of the Capitol attack. Here's why 7 GOP senators who broke with their party voted to convict former President Trump. Trump's daughter-in-law for Senate, his trial is renewing talk. Senator Richard Burr's vote to convict the former president has intensified speculation that Laura Trump might galvanize Trump loyalists behind the bid. Because what are her qualifications? Can someone please state, even though she has no qualifications, even though she lacks qualifications, even though she has abundance of qualifications? What are the qualifications to be a Senate? Pennsylvania GOP's push for more power over courts raises alarms. Outraged Democrats and good government groups see their efforts, which follow a fight against the election results, as a new kind of gerrymandering. Let's move over to the opinion. Mitch McConnell is so over Trump that he voted to absolve him. Why are Republicans still disloyal to a Mar-a-Lago exile? How Bill Gates plans to save the planet? America's other forever war? Blue Lives Matter is over. What I learned at kindergarten with my 4-year-old? Asian Rome has an urgent warning for us. Is democracy in Myanmar dead? Child's play across the Israeli-Palestine divide. Give Dolly Parton a statue already. Death has many names. 3 detectives obtain a false murder conviction. Was it one of dozens? An inquiry by the Bronx District Attorney is examining whether their tactics tainted guilty verdicts in 31 homicide cases that relied on confessions. Taliban close in on Afghan cities, pushing the country to the brink. The Taliban have positioned themselves around several major population centers as the Biden administration weighs whether to withdraw or stay. Twitter is turning birds into celebrities and birders against one another. A Twitter account helped spread the word about rare birds in New York City, but publishing their locations exposed a rift among birders. The economic case for regulating social media. The core business model of platforms like Facebook and Twitter poses a threat to society and requires retooling, an economist said. Postcard from Peru, why the morality plays inside the Times won't stop. Other news organizations have their own personal dramas, but none attract the spotlight the way the Times does. Our media columnist Ben Smith. Right. The Daytona 500 Wild Sunday. Michael McDonald won NASCAR's biggest race and earned his first career win after a late pileup took out the top contenders in front of him. Wow, what a picture. Well, we thank the New York Times for that, and we'll close with, let's check Fox News post trial. Winter disaster. Millions without power in frigid cold, told to keep heat low as historic storms blast multiple states. Texas power grid hit by extreme storm. NWS estimating 13 northwest states. That ad did it for me. Estimated 13 inches of snow for Chicago, Buffalo, while Cleveland expected to get for food. Nowhere to hide. Lawmakers seek to strip Cuomo of power as COVID scandals intensifies. Just tell me why. House GOP demanding answers from Pelosi about National Guard deployment. Broken promises. Senators under fire from progressives for not fulfilling the stimulus check pledge. New kind of child abuse. Rob Schneider slams public schools' in-person coronavirus safety measures. House Republicans' resolution urges U.S. to boycott 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing. Graham backs Laura Trump for Senate in North Carolina as Walker hits back. Cuomo brothers accused of showboating while thousands of seniors died. Liz Peek, Biden's top 5 blunders as president so far. It's getting bad out there. California cop speaks out against Newsom during city council meeting. Ended our Daytona 500 way too early. Massive pileup shocks at big race. Queen Elizabeth reacts to Meghan and Harry's baby news. Mandalorian fans fight back after Gina Carano's firing. Defund the police movement backfires as city begs for cops to come back. Trump might still face punishment for Capitol riot even after Senate impeachment acquittal. Trump impeachment lawyer goes viral after a tense interview. The media has to start telling the right story in this country. Political cartoon of the day, the woke empire strikes back. Burma security forces continue protest intimidation. U.S. Embassy authorizes volunteer evacuation. Opinion. Black history versus cancel culture. You have to tell the whole story. Here's why. President's Day inspiration. This is how to unite the country. Biden's Made in America order. Here's what part of America he's talking about. Why are we not there? Okay, well, I think TSA officer helps fly family to Maine after 30,000-mile mix-up. Well, with that, we thank Fox News. And I thank you for joining me today. Uh, that is Headlines in Bed for Monday, February 15, 2021. It's cloudy and rainy outside, but still, let's make it a great day. Join me tomorrow. Have a good day.